Chapter 12 of Witch Hat Atelier opens in the aftermath. The river rescue that Coco and Agat were part of has drawn the attention of the Knights Morales. The witches sworn to uphold the pact without exception. Their duty is clear and absolute. Magic must not be revealed to outsiders. If it is, memories get erased. That's the rule. That's the letter of it. And Estes, the knight who takes point here, is not wrong about why that rule exists. He points to the landscape itself as proof. In prior years, where brimcaps and others have changed or disturbed the land, things like the floating mountains, the sacred forests, those are the permanent consequences of unchecked magic from before the pact. Real damage, lasting damage. When he argues that the entire piece of his world depends on every witch upholding the principle without exception, he believes that, and he can point to the evidence. Here's the thing. There's a difference between the letter of the law and the spirit of it. The letter is the rule exactly as it is written, no exceptions, no circumstances, no context allowed. You violate it, you face the consequences. The spirit is the reason the rule exists in the first place. The good it was meant to protect, the intention behind it. Now, look at what actually happened at the river. Coco and Agat were not reckless. They responded to a crisis, a boy pinned under rock, a riverbed collapsing, lives at stake. They honored the spirit of what it means to be a witch, bringing the blessings of magic to people who need it, even while becoming visible in the process. Arugio says it plainly, standing on the ground below, looking up at Qifrey and Estes, both floating in the air, locked in argument. He tells them the girls have a better handle on their actual duty than either of them right now. And he is right. That moment cuts clean. Qifrey's challenge to Estes isn't that the principle is wrong. It's that wiping a mind without first hearing what one has to say is rash at best. He's not opposing the law. He's demanding that context be heard within it. That distinction matters because it tells us exactly how Qifrey sees himself, and it makes what he does in chapter 13 land that much harder. Now, before we get to chapter 13, or before we jump ahead, let's let this sink in. Because in that moment when the Knights of Morales have Coco and Agat bound in their direct line, it is not Qifrey who moves first. It is Richeh and Tetia. Richeh physically knocks both girls clear of the line of fire, and Tetia's cloud pillow spell, the serpent bed, the same one from the Labyrinth arc, the one Agat herself renamed, is already there to catch them when they fall. These girls did not hesitate. They moved for each other without being asked. And here's what I want you to notice. Richeh tells us exactly who she is in that moment. She says there's nothing she hates more than adults who treat children like things instead of people. That is not attitude for the sake of it. That is a value. That is why she moved. She saw two of her own about to be managed as problems rather than heard as people, and she stepped in. Tetia gets her own moment too. And yes, she gets thanked for it, which is very on brand for Tetia. But underneath that warmth is something real. She practiced that spell, that serpent bed spell. She didn't know she needed to protect her friends, but when the moment came, she was ready. What we have at this moment in Witch Hat Atelier is a found family that closes ranks. And that gives these two very heavy chapters a heartbeat. Hold on to that, because the warmth of that moment is going to contrast sharply with everything that follows. Now, here's where it gets interesting. And this is the thread that connects back to the Labyrinth arc. After everything settles at the river, Coco notices something about her ink bottle. She has used it twice, once against the dragon during the Labyrinth arc, once here at the river, and the level has not dropped. The bottle looks completely untouched, meaning it looks full. Like she never dipped her pen at all. Coco doesn't know what to make of it. She wonders if it's some kind of self-refilling magic pot. She isn't suspicious at all. She's genuinely puzzled, though, because she remembers using it. She knows what she's experienced. And If you caught that, good, because it's going to matter. Coco pays attention. She remembers exactly what she does or what she's done. That quality, that groundedness is what unravels the whole thing, because what she actually is observing is evidence of tampering, and Qifrey recognizes it the moment she says it, even though Coco does not. He takes the bottle to Mr. Noah, the shopkeeper in Callan, who made it, and gets his confirmation. The bottle is a twin bottle spell. 2 separate vessels, shared contents. Every time Coco dips her pen, the liquid she drew with was being replaced by an unknown mixture from the other side of that spell. She was never drawing with her own ink. She just didn't know it. And this goes all the way back again to the Labyrinth arc. One brimmed cap, one deliberate targeted move against Coco specifically. This was not a random act. Someone took a personal interest in Coco. Again, the brim cap has been for a while, planted that bottle and built a mechanism to channel unknown magic through her pen every time she drew. Basically, the scale of what that explosion produced in the chapter from a seal Qifrey himself described as tiny tells you exactly how dangerous that unknown mixture is. And I'm going to put that panel up because, yes, Coco's bottle, Qifrey took it in his possession. And when they got to Mr. Noah's shop, Qifrey went upstairs with Mr. Noah, and Coco was down in the bottom with Totter. And through conversation with Mr. Noah, listen, he already knew that something wasn't right with that bottle. And Qifrey decided to take the top off and dip his pen in it. And yes, things happen in the shop. So check out the panel. There was a light explosion that happened. And if I haven't said it, this is chapter 13. So yes, this tells us how dangerous that unknown mixture is. But wait for it. Qifrey calls it a lead. And it's one that he's been waiting for because the bottle is still linked. Wherever that twin bottle is, whoever holds it, there's a known thread connecting them to Coco's ink pot, and Qifrey intends to follow it. Yes, he does. And this is where I need you to stay with me, because what Qifrey does next is the important moment in both of these chapters. He cannot let this go to the order. Mr. Noah, of course, he wanted to call the Great Hall, take it to the Great Hall. And Qifrey is not going to let that happen. He cannot allow the Great Hall to have it. Whatever his reason is, he has decided that this lead belongs to him and him alone. So he reaches for something, some kind of device or contraption. Let's call it a contraption because that's what this story has. So some kind of contraption. The chapter doesn't show us clearly, but we do get the click sound. Yes, a click sound. And what we know is that Qifrey and Coco now leaves the shop. And when Totter goes upstairs and asks his grandfather about the flash of light, Mr. Noah has no memory of any of it. The ink pot, the blinding light. I don't even know if he even remembers Qifrey being there. None of it exists for him anymore. Now, let's sit with this for a second. This is the same man who stood in front of his apprentices after the river rescue and told them that every mind is a treasure. Yes, he had this conversation with the girls. Every mind is a treasure. That each person's memories are their knowledge, their experience, their past, their very life itself. He told Coco and Agat directly that their actions put those treasures at risk, that he would rather not see anyone's memory erased unless absolutely necessary. And then he walked upstairs and took Mr. Noah's momentary memories of what happened upstairs with the ink pot and the flash of light. He did it quietly, without ceremony. But Totter knows something is off. This story doesn't call that out. It doesn't flag it with dramatic music or a character turning to the reader in shock. But let's just say Totter does notice something is wrong. It places it in front of you, and you have to deal with it as the reader of the manga. And that's the mark of writing that trusts its audience. And when I saw this, even me as the reader, I could not believe it. Like, Qifrey was folding back on his own words. Qifrey is protecting Coco. That much is clear. But he's doing it entirely on his own terms, through his own methods, keeping this lead away from every system that exists to handle things exactly the way he wants to handle it, to handle exactly this kind of threat. Let's say that as well. Whether that protection is purely about Coco or whether it serves something else, he has not quite yet revealed. And the story will reveal things, and it's going to reveal some good pieces. These two chapters do not answer that at this moment, though. They just make sure you are asking the question. As the reader, you know that Qifrey did something, and you can see it on the panel, and you know that what he just did contradict his words of a conversation he had with the girls earlier on. Chapter 12 does close the river rescue arc, and chapter 13 opens the twin bottle arc, something new. And the ink bottle is the key that unlocks it. One brimmed cap, one targeted move against one girl, and a mentor who will do whatever it takes to follow that thread, even if it costs someone else their memory. The letter of the law says to protect the principle. The spirit of the law says protect the people. Qifrey is doing neither right now when you think about it. He's protecting something or he's after something. And we're only just getting started to understand how deep that goes. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you for hanging in there. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Please share this video. I'll meet you at the next Pointed Hat discussion. And I think I mentioned this earlier. I will be coming out with Ichi the Witch videos as well. Thanks for stopping by and watching.